Hello, and welcome back to your South King County Real Estate Update. My name is Sarah Eggleston with John L. Scott, with Stone Egg Realty at John L. Scott. And I am back with your South King County Real Estate News. Every Friday at 3 p.m., I am here delivering your news for the area. Let's go ahead and jump into the slides because we do have a number of things to get through today. Okay, so it is September 3rd, if you can believe it. So what happened this week? Well, this past week was a busy one. I had my listing go under contract a couple days ago. That was very exciting. It sounds like it's a really good match for the buyer. They work in the area and volunteer in the area, and it's just they wanted to stay close to right where that property is located, and the house is going to work really great for their family. So I'm really excited. It looks like this is going to be a really great matchmaking session in the real estate world. They just performed their inspection earlier today, so we were waiting for their response, and I'm looking forward to a smooth closing and hoping that it all rolls smoothly through the whole process. I've seen a couple properties come up this past week that I don't know. I've been seeing a few more unique properties pop up this week for some reason in various price ranges, but it's very excited to see a few more properties pop on the market that are going to work for my clients. And my cat is scratching at the door, so just one moment. Sorry about that. But I'm back. But it's been a very busy week for me in particular in the life of a real estate agent. And I'm really glad I have a showing lined up tomorrow that I think is going to be a really great match for my buyer, and hoping that all works out. We're getting close to very, very, very close to closing on the property that my husband and I are purchasing. Make sure you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, or both, to follow along on that journey because I'm doing updates throughout the process. But I'll go ahead and jump back into the slides. So Seattle home prices continue to soar at a record-breaking pace. When will the housing market come, quote, back to earth? Home prices have leapt 25% according to the Case-Shiller price index, and that's a year-over-year comparison. So in June of 2020 to June of 2021, 25% growth in home prices in the greater Seattle area. That is absolutely insane and totally unsustainable. That price growth is going to slow because it can't go any faster. This is insane. And it's the 5th month in a row that Seattle has climbed third on the chart. It's right behind Phoenix and San Diego. Phoenix was at 29.3% increase in June. That is absolutely insane. But so the Case-Shiller home price index tracks 20 major cities, and it lags 2 months behind. So we are looking at June numbers because that's how long it takes for these stats to come out. So these aren't necessarily the best stats to base your home buying or home selling purchases on because they lag 2 months. But this is, looking back, just a mind-blowing number for our home price growth. And it's hungry buyers, low interest rates, and rock bottom numbers of homes for sale have driven the prices up. So I have a graph next here, and you can see Seattle compared to the national numbers. Seattle has grown. Nationally, we've grown in price a lot in the last year. but Seattle is just blowing that out of the water. So here in the Puget Sound, it's more the surrounding regions that are increasing in price. It's not the downtown Seattle area, but Snohomish and the east side are just, those areas are leading this growth. And so there's been some real estate agents that talked about a cool down in June with buyers taking a break, and the number of multiple offers decreased, or the number of offers in the multiple offer scenario decreased during the June time period. So that was a little breath of relief for buyers, but you know, it's we're going 120 miles an hour, we slowed down to 115. It's still like crazy. So and the median home sale price for King County is up to $871,000. So we are way above the national average for the home sale. Seattle continues to be a very in-demand market. Seattle and the surrounding area is very, very hot right now. And this is a quote from the chief economist at Zillow. All told, home price growth remains sky high, but more signals are appearing that the housing market is slowing and coming back to earth. They're slowly coming back to earth. So things are kind of starting to slow down a little bit, but that's from an incredible pace. So is the market cooling off? These are national stats that we are looking at here. We are seeing, this quote is from the chief economist at First American. We are seeing some signs of softening in the housing market, but context is important here. We are still very much in the seller's market, and we are seeing some early signs of softening. So you can see the pending home sales nationally did tick down a little bit towards the end of this chart here. Percentage of homes selling over list price in July of 2020, we were at 26.8. In June, it was over half the homes nationwide were selling over list price. And in July, we ticked down to just under 50%, 49.6. So you can see just a slight trailing off on the home prices there. And this new monthly inventory or new monthly listing count, 2021 here is in green. The 2017, 18, 19, this is what we would generally expect to see. 2020 was nuts and we completely dropped off and jumped back up, but not to where we were on new listings coming to market. And we stayed below where we were for new listings coming to the market into the new year. And we are trailing far behind the number of listings on market that we would normally expect to see. So we are really short of inventory here. If these changing inventory dynamics continue, we could see a wave of real estate activity heading into the latter part of the year. And that's from the chief economist at Realtor.com. As far as affordability, you can see that this is the Affordability Index. For affordability, this is the monthly mortgage payment increasing significantly. So monthly mortgage payments last June were just over $1,000, and now this past June we're up to $1,255. So you can see quite a difference in the mortgage payments there. But if you rewind and look at the story behind this, I mean, we know that interest rates have been lower in the second half of 2020 and leading into 2021 than they have been for years and years and years. So these are people that are buying bigger and fancier houses that do have a higher mortgage payment. People are, home has really come to mean something different to people throughout the pandemic, and it's more important now than ever for I mean, people are spending more time in their homes than they ever thought they would. And they just understand that that is one of the assets that they're like, okay, well, if I'm spending all my time here, I'm going to spend my money on being in a place that I actually want to be in. Affordability does continue to decrease. This is from the Affordability Index, and we are getting to be a little less affordable. And this is the percentage of income needed for a mortgage payment increasing as a home continues to climb. So the percentage of income needed a few months ago, I'd say this is probably like January ish, is from that point, it has risen significantly. We're up from 13.4 to 17.1, but the historical norm on this graph is 21.2. And this takes home prices, wages, and mortgage rates into effect. So we know that interest rates have been rising a little bit this year. And so that's part of it, but mainly this is all due to price increase because the interest rates are still super low, but home prices have been increasing significantly. So this dip, this head down here was all the the interest rates decreasing and the home prices continuing to decrease and the interest rates not keeping up with that. So you can see that we have dropped off significantly in 2021 here on the Housing Affordability Index. And this is going back to 2009. So this is during the recession here. Homes were very affordable if you had the money. It was very difficult to get a mortgage, but as far as the home prices, they were rock bottom. And a lot of investors picked up properties during this time and held on to them and have done very well. But we have dropped off significantly even from last year on our Housing Affordability Index. But if we jump forward one slide and see what led up to that, historically, we are pretty affordable going back to 1990. So we're way more affordable now than we were in the 90s. So homes are less affordable now than they were last year, but still not unaffordable. This is home price forecasts for 2022. The Master Builders Association thinks it's going to head up to 8.4% in 2022 as a comparison to 2021. NAR thinks 3.1. The average is about 5.5, but no one thinks that home prices are going to decrease in the next year. That brings us to our market stat minute. If we look at our new listings, that's 535 in King County in the last 7 days, 1,059 pending and 1,081 sold. So you can see our new listings coming to market just plummeted this week. I know a lot of that is back to school and trying to fit stuff in at the very end of summer. But this did drop off more than I expected. So we'll see what happens next week and see if that bounces back a little bit. But pretty much all the experts are forecasting a really strong fall period. So we'll see if they're right and get a few more listings on the market. And this is for Southeast King County. This is from our chairman and CEO at John L. Scott, J. Lennox Scott. And he says that we are headed towards the first of the year and the market intensity for each new listing will start tightening back up again in South King County. So we've got a couple different, this is what we would normally expect to see this time of year. So this isn't totally out of tune, but there's a lot of experts that think that we are going to have a lot more inventory heading into the fall than we normally would, more inventory coming to the market than we normally would, because we've started to see that in other areas, not so much apparently in the last week in Seattle, but we have seen some signs of that. And you can see in pretty much every price point, we are selling really fast. 82.3% of homes go pending within the first 30 days. We have a total month supply of 0.4 months of inventory, which is just nuts. So this is an extreme frenzy market in almost every price point. So this one is new resale listings. And so you can see the 2021 is following the trend for the Southeast King County that we would expect to see this time of year, with the exception of May, where it dipped down. But we're still short of inventory from the lack of inventory that came on the market in 2020 and the beginning of 2021. But if we look at the total buyer contracts for Southeast King County, we dipped down in July and then had more pendings in August than we did in July, which you can see that happened in 2020. But on a normal year, we would expect our pending contracts to go down throughout this time period. You can see our showing traffic nationwide is gradually trailing off from, which is generally what we'd expect to see this time of year. You see 2020 got a little volatile and was a lot higher showings up here, but we are continuing a trend. This dip is probably going to be this coming weekend with the holiday. And this is just another view of that showing time index. So you can see that from April, we've been decreasing the number of showings that are happening in homes, but it seems like our pendings are going up. So fewer people are going out to homes, but those that are still going are really serious buyers. And last week, our weekly average mortgage rate was 2.87. And this week it is 2.87. It held. So it remained very stable. And there's concern about the Delta variant affecting the economy, which, if the variant negatively impacts our economy, interest rates would go down. But we've also seen really strong signs in the job market, and people applying for unemployment is reducing. So we're seeing really strong economic metrics, but there is this little doubt in people's mind of, is Delta going to reverse that? And that brings us to our daily rate, which is 2.95 from Mortgage News Daily. And regrettably, there will be no show next week because it's my birthday. So I will be back September 17th at 3 p.m. to deliver your South King County real estate news. But I am going to take a week off here. I don't do that very often, but it's my birthday, so why not? Well, thank you so much for joining me for your South King County real estate update. My name is Sarah Eggleston with Stone Egg Realty at John L. Scott, and I will be back here in 2 weeks to deliver your South King County real estate news. Don't forget to like and subscribe, whatever platform you're watching this on. Make sure to hit the bell or notification button so you can see these videos in the future, and make sure to share if you think somebody you know would be interested in South King County real estate. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in a couple weeks.